Fest coming up next. It'll be the Portland Trail Blazers facing off against the Detroit Pistons. And now it's game time. To call the action, here are Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. I'll be back at halftime, everybody.
Welcome, everyone. This is the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, ready to bring you all the action along with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And now a quick check of our starting lineups for both teams. First for Portland, Lillard and Matthews paired up in the backcourt. And playing at the center position, one of the low-cost players out of Denver. Denver's Batum, and it's Aldridge in at the 4. And then for the Detroit Pistons, Jennings out there with Rodney Spector. And it's Andre Drummond at 6'11", 275 pounds, the big athletic presence out of the University of Connecticut inside its center. And it's Smith, and it's Monroe in at the 4. Now, here is Smith. Nice shot from 10 feet out. Smith's got the first points up on the board tonight here for Detroit.
I like the way they're working the ball inside, because when you do that, you get higher percentage shots, and typically good things happen. It's a quick foul to pick up here in the opening quarter.
Lillard with it. Back to Aldridge. All alone. That cuts.
Smart move with that mismatch he's got.
You know what? That extra advantage sure pays off on the mid-range jumper. You know, at 33 and 49 on the season last year, the Blazers were well below 500, but they were a 500 team against the Eastern Conference.
And he can count it, go to the line with a chance to make it 3. James on the line. It's on Damian Lillard. Portland, as you said, was 500 against the East last season. They were 15 up and 15 down. You know, you look at how other teams with that record fared against the East, and 500 isn't bad.
Well, usually when you finish 16 games under 500 for the season, as the Blazers did, you don't go 500 against either conference. But, you know, they happen to just have a good matchup, apparently, with a lot of their Eastern opponents. And they did pretty well.
Damian Lillard was really a steady fortune, guys. I think we still have a lot to see as to how much of a playmaker he'll become. Remember, he was the man in college. Without a lot of other scoring options to rely on, he carried Weber State offensively. And I think that's going to serve him well throughout the rest of his NBA career. More point guards have to be able to score as well as run the team in the way the league is playing now.
Now, here is Monroe. Stuckey setting the pick for Monroe. 6 on the shot clock. A 15-footer. And it's Portland with the rebound. And Damian Lillard last season, Steve, averaging 6.5 assists a game.
And those numbers should get better because Lillard's going to get better. The Blazers will continue to add to their roster. They had one of the worst benches in the league last season. So you put a couple more scores alongside Lillard, those assist totals will go up.
I think Clark's right. We'll have to see in time how his playmaking develops. A shot by Batum, no good. The Pistons have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far. And it's out of bounds to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession.
Now that pass had just a little bit too much heat on it for him to make a clean steal.
Yeah, I think it would have been a tough catch for either of them.
Smith kicks to Stuckey. And the shot is good.
No matter who it is, that kind of defense is not going to cut it.
For Portland, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Lillard attacking, gets it to go.
Well, Blazers coach Terry Stotts is a branch on the tree of head coach George Karl, and that's a pretty good tree to be on. In his playing days, Karl coached Stotts in the CBA, and actually Stotts had a pretty good career in Europe.
Here's Jennings. Following the score by Damian Lillard. And for Terry Stotts, after his playing days, he coached as an assistant under George Karl, both in the CBA and then with the Sonics and the Bucks.
And over 2 decades of coaching experience, Kevin. This is his 6th season overall as an NBA head coach. Remember, he coached the Hawks as well as the head man. But I thought he did a nice job with Portland last season.
You know, the Pistons are really still a young team learning how to win in the league, but they made some strides last year because they started to win more consistently at home. And you could actually see this team becoming more consistent as the season went on.
Now, here's Lillard. Back to Matthews.
Steps for this team to improve year to year. And obviously making that big step, signing Josh Smith over the summer to go along with that, bringing back Johnson Billups. I think the Pistons are really looking to make a move here. It's going to be a fun team to watch this season.
And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will retain possession. Doris Burke has some information for us, Doris.
Well, guys, head coach of the Portland Trailblazers gave me just a couple of minutes. He said that one of the players are keying in on defensively is Rodney Stuckey, adding he loves to use his size and his strength to play bully ball inside and get himself to the line. We've got to be physical with him without fouling. Guys, that'll take discipline. We'll see if they can strike the right balance on defense.
Thanks, Doris. Chauncey Billups is checked in for Detroit. Aldridge dishes to Lillard. Kept alive. And Leonard gets it to go. Leonard's got his first basket of the night.
What a move. He saw a window on the other side of the rim and whipped it around for the immaculate reverse.
Uredko, the pass to Monroe. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two.
Well, you love the skill level for Greg Monroe. I mean, he played the Princeton-style offense at Georgetown. He's a terrific high-post passer, and he actually handles the ball really well for a guy of his size.
Catching up on the changes for Portland. Thomas Robinson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And Mo Williams subbed in for Damian Lillard. Now here's Williams. Williams gets a screen from Robinson. Batum inside the three-point line. Robinson kicks to Leonard. And stolen by Singler. Here's Caldwell Pope, defended by Batum. Singler passes to Caldwell Pope. Uredko dishes to Billups. No good from outside. And you mentioned the great hands for Greg Monroe. A nice soft touch, Steve, around the rim.
And also great at just hauling in rebounds, grabbing steals. He really has a nose for the ball.
Pistons leading by 3. Here's now to Uredko. Pass to Singler. Here's Caldwell Pope. He's covered by Matthews. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Uredko kicks to Monroe. Great D that time from Leonard. Trailblazers trail by 3. And Williams, here we go. It's on target from the high post.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
Detroit's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Here's Billups. Good.
Not much the defense can do once he gets to the bucket.
Trailblazers have gone 4 of 10 shooting the ball here in the first quarter. Williams attacking. Feeds it to Leonard. That's good. Leonard's got his second basket of the night.
Fantastic pass. He turned that one into a pretty easy basket for his teammate.
Monroe's shot is good. We've got 33 seconds left to play in the first quarter. And Matthews kicks to Batum. On the wing, Williams. Right side, Leonard. Robinson inside. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Here's Billups. Singler outside. Back to Billups. He kicks to Uredko. From deep. And he hits the buzzer beater.
Boy, ends the quarter with a dead-eye 3 as the buzzer sounds.
They had that set up, I think, Steve, and he timed it perfect.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. What do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Pistons?
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
And they're also showing some muscle here in the first half, finding a lot of points in the paint area.
Here is Robinson. And the pass to Williams. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Williams has got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for Portland.
Guys, it's no surprise that a young team like the Blazers found it difficult sledding on the road. Not quite the experience or edge needed to put together good performances on a nightly basis away from home.
Here's Villanueva. Hits the jumper. Villanueva's got his first points of the game.
Looked like the defense kind of backed off and then he took advantage.
Phillips against Williams. Right outside. In the air. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll get them 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, this guy's an animal on the glass, Kevin. I mean, there may be some bigger and stronger rebounds in the NBA, but nobody plays with this kind of energy and zeal.
And he gets after it hard, Steve. If there's even a chance he can get to a loose ball, he'll throw himself right at it.
Well, for the Blazers, statistically, they played as close as you could ask for as to when they played at home, but they didn't really have the roster to protect the rim and Steve forced turnovers, which is always a big help on the road.
Yeah, their interior defense was a problem last year. A lot of teams just ate them up, particularly when Portland would go out on the road. That's one of the reasons they finished 11-30. You have to be able to defend at a high level to win away from home.
That one is no good.
The Pistons have gone now 5 seasons, guys, without posting a winning record, and they're on their 4th coach in that time. Been musical chairs on the bench. Hopefully, they'll be able to find some stability there and some improvement on the court.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Guys, Damian Lillard was a 4-year player at Small Weber State. Not the usual profile for the NBA Rookie of the Year. But he maintains, quote, "My experience at Weber State was great. Every step of the way. I had the support of my teammates, but they still challenged me in practice. The coaches didn't treat me differently. If anything, they demanded more of me. They really helped me grow as a player and a leader. The level of maturity I've grown into, I really owe it to them." Guys, he's shown that maturity and his impact with the Blazers.
An intriguing young talent. Thanks. And the Pistons' long rebuild has hurt attendance. There's no doubt about that. It's dropped over 20% over the last decade, down around 67% last season. Steve, last in the NBA.
Well, of course, this city has also been hit hard by the economy, Kevin, and that has played a role. But no question, the Pistons' struggles have led to the attendance dropping. Hopefully, this team, with good young talent they put together, can get things turned around and get these fans back.
And it's Rodney Stuckey with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. LaMarcus Aldridge has checked in for Thomas Robinson. And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Left side, Williams buries the long-range jumper. Williams has got 5 points in the quarter.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Phillips kicks to Smith. This one for 3. And yes, a nice assist from Phillips. And that's now 7 points for Josh Smith. Trailblazers trail by 5.
You know, because Josh Smith doesn't put up huge numbers in any one area of the game, he sometimes gets overlooked for what he does on the floor. He's one of the most versatile big men in the game.
They get it back, and that one's good by Aldridge.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
And the Trailblazers making a change here. Lillard's checked in. Portland's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. And Steve, you mentioned Smith's versatility. Clark, there's no doubt he really fills up a stat sheet.
Points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. Kevin, he does it all, really, and pretty tough defense, too. An all-star caliber player, there's no doubt about that.
Ball's knocked loose. Oh, and here comes Smith. All alone. Oh, look at of showmanship is just deflating right now. The team trying Clark to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, Mark?
Well, you know what the questions are about now? It's their defense, that's for sure.
Closing in on 4 minutes play here in the second quarter. Jennings passes to Smith. Fires from deep. Portland grabs the miss. Aldridge has got his third rebound tonight. Williams attacking. Rebound by the Pistons. Here's Jennings. Rebound by the Trailblazers. Aldridge has got his fourth rebound in this one. Right, left side. And the Trailblazers, another three.
And he's someone the defense has to keep track of at all times because, you know, even when he doesn't have the ball, he moves so well without it. He's constantly a threat to catch and shoot.
And he's a great three-point shooter, too, especially when he lets it go from one of those corners. He doesn't miss many of those. Boy, you talk about a franchise having some terrible luck with injuries. Portland is certainly that team. A lot of emerging stars in Rip City have had their careers or tenure cut short because of injury. And the injury bug, once again, reared its head for Portland.
Here's Stuckey, and the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. As you said, with the Blazers throughout the ages, they've had to deal with injuries to guys like Walton and Oden and most recently Roy. Unfortunately, Steve, starting over is something that they are used to doing.
But they are in a pretty good position to do so right now, Kevin. I think they've been really good in the draft the last couple of years. Obviously, they got a star in Damian Lillard that they can build around. To me, the key is Marcus Aldridge. Can they re-sign him? Can he be that dominant low-post guy in Portland for the next 5 or 6 years? He sure has the potential.
Detroit leading by 3. Uretko dishes to Jennings. In low to Monroe. And he uses the glass on the layup.
Textbook right there. Nice pass, big catch, beautiful finish.
The Trailblazers have gone 6 of 14 shooting here in the second. And Lillard kicks to Leonard. And that one's good. Leonard's got 6. We've got 33 seconds left here in the second. The feed to Uretko. A free ball. The shot is off. Now Portland takes it the other way. Aldridge, the pass to Lillard.
That's his second personal foul. If he gets another, it probably puts him on the bench for the rest of the first half.
The Trailblazers shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
About a year ago, they converted about 78% of their free throws as a team, so pretty solid there.
And you know, a lot of times, guys, in some of their performances last year, their free throw numbers helped them win games.
Outside Jennings. From the arc. Got it off in time, but it's no good. And the first half ends in a close one. Pistons lead by 1. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills.
Now, presented by Sprint. And it's the Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first one. Third quarter starting now.
Portland has its hands full guarding against Smith.
9 points, and he's chalked up 1 3-pointer on the day as well.
Now, a lot of times, he's one of those players who can get hot and stay hot from the three-point line. So I look for him to continue to search for shots out there.
Here's Lopez. Drummond with the block. Here's Aldridge. And unable there to get the go-ahead bucket.
Great defense in the paint there, making it tough on the offense.
That's what he brings, the presence. I mean, you saw it on that miss. How about that? I mean, he doesn't care how much height he's giving up. It's attitude with him.
Last season, a hard one for Stuckey. Pistons finally shifted him back to his natural shooting guard position. A lot of people thought he would break out, but instead, he had his lowest field goal percentage and scoring average since his rookie season.
And the dunk by Aldridge. This game is going going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
Look how frustrated Steve is over here.
Well, I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up. I mean, he threw it down with force.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, gentlemen, you recall around draft night, there were rumors that the Cavaliers were willing to trade both the number 1 and number 19 picks for LaMarcus Aldridge, but they were rebuffed by Portland. And it's easy to see why the Blazers would be reluctant to part with their franchise big man. But with Aldridge expressing unhappiness in Portland over the summer, you wonder if that's a decision they'll live to regret. Kevin?
No question, Doris. Everyone's got to be invested and on board, or it just doesn't work. Trailblazers moving the ball around. And Lillard kicks to Matthews.
They're struggling here. They're just 1 of 5 to start this third quarter. They got to loosen up here.
And there's Jennings. That's good on an assist by Smith. And it's 9 points for Brandon Jennings. And towards the end of last season, Rodney Stuckey finally seemed to get untrapped.
Well, I tell you, early in his career, I really liked his potential. He's got tremendous talent. Strong slasher who can get to the line. Those are the kind of players who can usually be relied upon to produce buckets. We'll see how he bounces back.
Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. Matthews dishes to Lillard. Fires for 3. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got his 5th rebound in this one.
One of the problems for the Pistons last season was they always seemed to come out after halftime flat. Just couldn't sustain the kind of intensity and focus needed to win consistently. That was a big part of why they had such a tough year.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Lopez, a screen on Stuckey. Matthews passes to Lillard. That one a little long. Well, going back to the Pistons, the third quarter for them was by far their worst scoring quarter. Several points lower than any other quarter they played in, and with the sample size you get over the course of a season, that is no accident.
Well, you know what you think about now with a team like this is that if it's young, maybe they're not used to the tweaks and the adjustments that other teams are making at them over the halftime break. So this is an area for improvement for this Detroit team.
Batum, good.
You know, they've got to make him earn those threes. You play off of him, and he's automatic from that distance.
Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Lillard against Jennings. Lets it go with a 3. And that one's good. That's 12 points for Rodney Stuckey.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding. They are piling up the assists.
Batum against Smith. And here's Matthews. The 3. No good. The Pistons go the other way with it. Stuckey drives inside. And Drummond throws it down.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
But, you know, they've got a nice lead. Don't take any chances. The simple one-hander is just fine.
Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Rodney Stuckey.
Well, it's pretty obvious, guys. Portland has a lot of young talent, but the defensive effort has to get better. The intensity, the concentration at that end of the floor has to grow, which is always tough with a young team, but to get better, it's going to have to start with defense there.
Things have kind of gone south for them here in the quarter.
And they're pushing it up. And Drummond kicks them in the ball. A great 1-2 punch. Beautiful passing.
Impressive play there. They have been really good offensively.
How to get the points and root to this big lead, guys. I mean, they've been unstoppable.
Drummond with the block. And he recovers it. Lopez. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Lopez has got his second basket of the night.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
Portland finishing second to last in opposing team shooting percentage, Clark. Well, that's interesting. Defense, something that usually needs to be learned in the NBA. And the Blazers, We're a young team last season, Steve, and easily a team learning game by game.
Yeah, youth or not, though, Kevin. I mean, 48% against you defensively in terms of field goal percentage. That can't happen. So a lot of improvement in store for this Portland team. They really have to lock in on the defensive end.
Here's Drummond. The baseline jumper goes down. Drummond's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Well, it's been all about pace and space with them. Tempo, the fast break points, just a huge advantage.
Yeah, they've been looking to push it all the time and to get that early offense, and they're doing it well.
Passes it to Lillard. Kicks it to Lopez. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Last season was the best yet for Robin Lopez. Career highs pretty much across the board for Lopez as he stepped into the starting center role for New Orleans. Sometimes it's just a matter of opportunity before a player gains the confidence to be productive in a starting role.
Jennings kicks to Smith. Rodney Stuckey on the wing. Blanketed by the D. Fights to the rim for the layup. Stuckey's got 14 points.
They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. And that's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They've decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
And for Robin Lopez, not the score that his twin brother Brooke is, but, he's showing some signs offensively.
Well, he's efficient from the field and from the foul line, and the key for him is to continue to work on his rim protection, his defense in the lane. He's got potential to be very good in there.
LaMarcus Aldridge is checked in for Robin Lopez. Double clutches. Batum. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on Chauncey Billups.
Great job. Take it right at the defense. I like the aggressiveness.
Yeah, he left them no choice but to foul there.
Portland may have been coming through at the charity strip. They've made 7 of their 8 attempts.
Well, for Nicholas Batum, a little bit of a lull in his shooting percentage last season. Certainly he garnered a lot of attention defensively because of how well he had played the year before. We'll see if he's able to rebound in his numbers this season.
And for Nicholas Batum, a solid long-range shot, Steve, with a quick release.
And he can really hurt you in transition as well, with his ability to get out and run. I think the biggest improvement to come is his in-between game as far as attacking in the half court.
He's injury-prone, though, and I think that's a concern for the Blazers.
Yeah, but he can really run, and he's athletic.
He is. Gets it to go.
Excellent work offensively to get that shot attempt into a can't-miss area.
Billups kicks to Monroe. Singler outside. There's the 3. And it's Portland with the rebound. Here's the 3. And Nicholas Batum, the assist by Lillard. Lillard's got 6 assists. Here's a 9. No good. And that does it for the third quarter. Both teams clicking offensively as we approach the... All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for Detroit?
Well, the great passing we saw in the first half has carried right over into the second.
They haven't wasted time getting the ball up the court tonight either, and it's resulted in a lot of fast break points.
Matthews into the lane, and Aldridge slams it in.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exciting?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
Well, he should stay with those basics in a tight ball game because we got one here tonight.
Trailblazers trail by 4. Lopez sets a screen for Lillard. Makes the lead pass. It's stolen by Smith. And here we go now. Billups, nobody back. Singler. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Pellick will shoot one more at the free throw line.
Good job there, recognizing the mismatch and then just going straight up with the shot. He's got a major height advantage.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Andre Drummond comes in for Greg Monroe. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Chauncey Billups. Stuckey against Matthews. Into LaMarcus Aldridge. Can't hit from in close. And it's out of bounds to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession. Your Rebros checked in for the Pistons. Pistons leading by 7. There's the triple. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. Jennings has got 4 assists now tonight. Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. Without question, Rodney Stuckey displaying his skills today.
He's been absolutely on fire from outside. They got to get into his jersey, get up into him, force him to pass or drive.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Yes, I had a chance to find out what the Trailblazers head coach was going over with his guys. He was riding them pretty hard for the number of silly fouls they've committed in this game. He said, listen, we need to have some defensive discipline. Stop fighting on the shot fakes, stop reaching in, and stop giving them 3 points at the free throw line. We'll see if they'll respond, guys.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball. Just having their way down low.
Jennings with the bucket.
We're seeing him bring that shooting percentage up now, guys. The first half was a struggle for him.
Lillard against Jennings. Lillard attacking, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Well, Damian Lillard played in a small school. Came out of Weber State. But the Blazers liked what they saw. Anybody who watched Damian Lillard liked what they saw. I mean, he was the most effective pick-and-roll player in the college game at Weber State. They knew with the prominence of that play in the NBA that he had a skill that would translate well to the pro. Boy, did it ever.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. Leonard's checked in. The shot's
He got a great read of where that pass was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
And Brandon Jennings gets the whistle that time. That will be foul number 5 on him. And for Lillard, running that pick and roll, he grasps the nuances, doesn't he? Looking off the weak side defender, all the little things, the mind games even, to make that play work so well.
Well, he was on the job training for him last year, Kevin, in his rookie season, because all of a sudden he was seeing defenses he hadn't seen before. Blitzes, blues, and people going under or over. And you have to navigate your way through those things as a point guard. But he did an awfully good job of it.
Well, you were telling me a great story that his college coach kept showing him all kinds of pick and rolls with Steve Nash and all kinds of NBA players, the way those point guards would navigate. And he picked it up, and by the time he was a senior in college, he had it down. Drummond, he's covered by Leonard. Monroe dishes to Smith. Pistons passing it around. Jennings can't get that one to fall.
Almost surprised that he had that much room to work with. And he's one player who doesn't need a lot of space to get to the basket. He's really crafty. The way he can blast his way straight through traffic. He's really strong.
Another thing you see him do a lot and do very well is draw and dish. He brings defenders to him in the low post and then kicks the ball out to the wide open teammate if he's double teamed.
In low to Monroe. And blocked. And it's the Trailblazers on the break. Batum leading the charge. Count the bucket. Now a timeout called by Detroit.
He did not look too happy about some of the things he saw on the court. So I would expect some changes here.
I think it's the right move, quite honestly. I mean, they just didn't look sharp or at their best out there. So take the timeout and give yourself a chance to regroup.
Monroe's shot is good.
And they have to mix it up defensively. That was just too easy.
Trailblazers trail by 12. And Batum gets to Leonard. Wesley Matthews on the wing. They grab their own miss. Aldridge. Drummond with the block. It's Jennings with the drive. Stuckey. He passes to Drummond. From deep. Here's Monroe. A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. And the Pistons lead by 14.
They've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
Well, that's why they're on this run, guys. They're getting the ball inside and getting really high percentage looks.
And he dumps it down.
They're getting that lead way up there now. I mean, it should be a stroll to the final whistle from here.
Yeah, this late in the game, it'll be almost impossible for them to blow a lead like this.
Well, he hasn't had much success shooting the ball, but it's not too late for him to get it turned around and start contributing.
Stuckey. Smith outside. Back to Stuckey. Jennings for 3. And good coming on the assist by Rodney Stuckey. Stuckey He's got 6 assists here tonight. Trailblazers trail by 19. Back to Batum. Right side, Batum. He feeds it to Lillard. Into LaMarcus Aldridge. And the shot is good. Detroit's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on 3-point attempts here in the fourth. Stuckey outside. It's back to Jennings. Takes a 3. Another 3 for Detroit.
He is really putting his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
To the middle. And then Leonard with the dunk.
Boy, if they could have had this kind of run earlier in the game, it might have made a big difference.
You know, I think a big reason behind the run, Steve, is that they're not getting pressured as much by the defense now that the game's all but finished.
Here's Smith. And no good. Trying to use the glass.
That was not pretty there. You got to make that one, but maybe that's not his range.
And the jam by Nicholas Batum.
I tell you what, you got to love his aggressiveness finishing inside like that.
Well, his leaping ability, Clark, gives him a great advantage.
Yeah, and that's why they look to get him the ball around the rim. I mean, it feels like it's either a dunk or a foul and a couple of free throws every possession.
Outside Jennings. Here's Drummond. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. How much to be critical of with this break, Clark?
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play, they showed up to give great effort